Most people spend their lives trying to save money, while quietly wasting the most valuable thing they have: time. Think about it. People will drive 40 minutes to save $10, spend entire weekends doing tasks they hate, work exhausting jobs, just to avoid paying for convenience. And they call that being smart with money. But wealthy people think differently. They don't just ask, "How much does this cost?" They ask, "What is this costing me in time, stress, energy, and freedom?" Because eventually, saving money stops helping your life and starts shrinking it. Today, I want to explain one of the most important money lessons nobody teaches: why buying back your time is one of the smartest financial decisions you can ever make, and why some people stay trapped financially, even when they earn more money. When people first start making money, focusing on saving is important. That part is true. Avoid debt. Don't overspend. Build emergency savings. But many people never evolve past that stage. They become permanently stuck in survival mode. Everything becomes about minimizing cost. Cheapest option, cheapest food, cheapest apartment, cheapest flight, cheapest everything, even if it destroys their quality of life. Here's a simple example. Imagine someone drives across town to save $15 on groceries. Sounds smart, right? But let's calculate the real cost. 45 minutes there, 45 minutes back. Traffic, stress, gas, mental energy. That saving may have cost 2 hours of life. So now the real question becomes, would you work for $7 an hour doing something you hate? Because that's essentially what happened. Most people only calculate money. Successful people calculate value. And value includes time, energy, focus, peace of mind, opportunity cost. Because while you're spending hours trying to save tiny amounts of money, you could be learning a skill, building a business, networking, resting, or spending time with people you love. The problem isn't saving money. The problem is sacrificing your entire life just to optimize small expenses. Being financially disciplined and being cheap. Financial discipline creates freedom. Being cheap often creates stress. Cheap people usually focus only on immediate cost. Disciplined people focus on long-term value. For example, buying low-quality shoes because they're cheaper, then replacing them every year. Buying unreliable cars, then constantly paying for repairs. Living extremely far from work to save on rent, while losing 3 hours every day commuting. At first it feels responsible, but over time, those decisions quietly drain your life. And here's the dangerous part. Society often praises this behavior. People say, "He's so frugal. She never spends money. They're very responsible." But sometimes, that person is just living in fear. Fear of spending, fear of losing money, fear of appearing irresponsible. And fear-based financial decisions usually lead to smaller lives. Because eventually you stop investing in things that could improve your future. You stop taking opportunities, trying new experiences, learning new skills, delegating tasks, building better systems. You become obsessed with preservation instead of growth. And this mindset keeps many middle-class people stuck forever. Because wealth is not only built by saving, it's built by leverage. One of the biggest mindset differences between average people and wealthy people is this. Rich people buy convenience early, not later. They understand something most people don't. Convenience creates capacity. Capacity creates opportunity. Opportunity creates income. For example, a business owner hires an assistant. At first glance, it looks expensive, but if that assistant saves them 15 hours a week, those 15 hours can be used to close deals, create content, build systems, or recover mentally. Now compare that to someone trying to do absolutely everything themselves. Answering emails, cleaning, scheduling, cooking every meal, fixing every problem, running every errand. Eventually they burn out. And burned out people rarely build exceptional lives. This is why many high performers spend money on things like meal delivery, house cleaning, faster travel, better tools, automation software, childcare, living closer to work. Not because they're lazy, because they understand leverage. A lot of people think, "I'll buy back my time after I become successful." But often, buying back time is exactly what helps people become successful. There's another problem nobody talks about enough. Time poverty. Some people technically make decent money, but their lives are miserable. They wake up exhausted, commute for hours, work nonstop, come home drained, sleep, repeat. They have money, but no actual life. And this is becoming more common, especially in modern hustle culture. People are working constantly, but they never ask, what am I actually building toward? Because if your schedule destroys your health, relationships, energy, and peace of mind, then your income number means very little. This is why more people are starting to value remote work, flexible schedules, walkable neighborhoods, smaller but calmer lifestyles, time freedom, because the ultimate goal of money should not be endless accumulation. It should be ownership over your life. Social media teaches people to spend money on visible status, luxury watches, designer clothes, sports cars, but many of the best financial decisions are invisible. Nobody sees the assistant who saves you 10 hours a week, the software that automates your business, the apartment close to work, the therapist improving your mental health, the healthier food improving your energy, the gym trainer preventing future health problems. These purchases don't look flashy online, but they massively improve real life. And honestly, a lot of expensive status purchases are fake wealth signals anyway. Someone can own a luxury car while having no savings, high debt, and constant anxiety. Meanwhile, another person quietly buys freedom. Freedom to control their schedule, sleep properly, spend time with family, say no to toxic work, take vacations without stress. That second person is usually wealthier in the ways that actually matter. This doesn't mean spend money recklessly. That's not the lesson. The lesson is to become intentional. Ask yourself, what repeatedly drains my time, energy, or mental health? Then ask, can money reduce or eliminate this problem? Sometimes the answer is yes. Maybe. Grocery delivery saves 4 hours weekly. Living closer to work improves your entire life. Paying for childcare gives you career opportunities. Better equipment makes your work twice as efficient. You don't need to be rich to start thinking this way. You just need to stop viewing every expense as automatically bad. Because some expenses create returns far beyond money. Ending. At the end of life, nobody wishes they had spent more time clipping coupons, sitting in traffic, or stressing over every dollar. People wish they had more time, more moments, more energy, more freedom, more life. And that's the real purpose of money. Not accumulation, not status, not impressing strangers online. Freedom. So yes, save money, but don't worship saving money. Because eventually, the smartest financial move is learning how to buy your life back.
Hey, I'm Suri. And before you go, if this video gave you a new perspective or helped you think differently about money, life, or success, then maybe this channel is worth being part of. I spend hours researching, writing, and creating every single video, not just for views, but to create something meaningful, something real. So if you'd like to support the journey, subscribe and let's grow wiser together. Thank you for being here.